Hello and welcome to this lesson on stem change verbs. So the objective today is to look at which verbs have a stem change. These are principally in the present tense. Okay, so some basic rules then. Okay, we're going to look just to start with the present tense endings that you already should have studied. Okay, and this is really important because people tend to think that it's something totally different. And really they are still present tense verbs, so still come under the same rules to start with. So, remember we've got the AR verbs, we've got ER verbs and IR verbs. So if you remember the different endings, so AR verbs we're going to go for O, AS, A, AMOS, AIS, AN. So the example here then would be estudiar, to study. So estudio, I study. Okay, this is just present tense. We haven't touched the stem change yet. Okay, next one then is ER verbs. Okay, so we're looking at O, es, e, hemos, eis, en. The example verb is going to be comer, to eat. So again, como, I eat. Comes, you eat. Finally, we're going to look at the IR verbs. So O, es, e, imos, is, and en, very similar to the ER verbs. And you got vivir, to live. So vivo, vives, vive, etc. Okay, so now we're going to look at the formation of the stem change verbs then. And there are three different types of stem change, and we're starting with the one which is E to IE. Okay, so as you can see, we've got pensar. Pensar means to think. So, I've underlined the stem change, okay, which is the E. But just think about it. If there was no stem change, we thought, well, you know, it's a normal verb, then we'd knock off the AR, and we'd end up with pens, and then we stick the O on the end, penso. Okay, but because this verb has a stem change to make it sound more Spanish, this is what happens. Okay, we get rid of the E, okay, make a bit of space, and it becomes pienso. Yeah, and you've probably seen that before, I think. Pienso que, I think that. Okay, let me just show you the full formation then. Okay, so here we go. Pienso, piensas, piensa. Okay, and then typical to these verbs then, pensamos, no change in the we form, and pensáis, no change in the you plural form, and then back to change, piensan. Okay, so I think, you think, he, she, it thinks, we think, you plural think, they think. Okay, so the next style of stem change verbs is O to UE. Our example is poder. Poder means to be able to. So again, we're going to do the same thing with it. Imagine that it's just a normal verb. So we'd think, well, ER off, pod. Then we'd have the ending, podo. But actually, we know it's a stem change verb, so we can get rid of the O, which was underlined, and we end up, because it's O to UE, it becomes puedo. And puedo means I can, or I am able to. Okay, again, the full formation then. So yo puedo, tú puedes, puede, podemos, no change again, podéis, and pueden. And finally, we've got an E to I changer. Let's have a look at this one then. So, pedir means to ask for, and again it's an E to I change, so think about it as if it wasn't a stem change verb. So we've got ped, we think, okay, we'll add the O on, pedo, but actually we remember it's a stem change verb, so we get rid of the E, we leave some space, and it becomes pido. So pido, I ask for. Okay, full formation then. Pido, pides, pide. Just like the other few then. The nosotros pedimos and pedís. Okay, and then finally piden. So again, exactly the same idea, that the we form and the you plural form don't change. Okay, and just looking at some other verbs now then. So as you can see, we've got E to IE, O to UE, and E to I. So empezar, to begin, is an example of an E to I changer. Preferir, to prefer. Divertirse, to enjoy oneself. Querer, to want. So if you think of them, empiezo, I start. Prefiero, I prefer. Me divierto, I have fun. And quiero, I want. O to UE ones then. Poder, puedo, that we've just looked at. Encuentro, I find. Recuerdo, I remember. And then suelo, I usually do something. Finally then, E to I. Seguir, sigo, I continue. Pedir, pido, we just looked at it. Repetir, to repeat. And here we go for some examples. Quiero bailar, I want to dance. So quiero is going to be really useful. Suelo comer, I usually eat. And obviously you can have puedo as well. Puedo comer, I can eat. And then the last one, little example, sigo jugando, I continue playing. Okay, so have a think about these verbs and try and practice them and put them into your speaking and writing. They're very common in Spanish, and this is not a full list. There are lots of other verbs. Okay, muchas gracias por escuchar.